Alright, so this is going to be completely 100% unedited, unfiltered. I'm going to try my best to convey my opinion. I hate improv. Fuck improv. But here we are, ground zero, once again with Spider-Man PS4. I'm starting to notice there's a small majority of people who really hate this game, whether due to its popularity, due to the fact that it's a new PS4 game on the way. There are varying reasons as to why, and I want to break down my thoughts on it. Why do people hate this game? Just why? So far, the positives. The gameplay looks good. The quips, the jokes, everything feels like it's something Peter Parker would say.
She'd never admit it, but the Chief was warming up to Spider-Cop. His casual disregard for by-the-book thinking was a breath of fresh air. She'd come around someday.
It's something that J. Jonah would say when he's arguing back and forth with Peter in that recent trailer, that gameplay trailer they had. The combat looks pretty cool. Air combos galore, gadgets, Insomniac flair implemented in something that I didn't expect was going to happen with Spider-Man. Like, the gadgets look cool, the moves look cool, everything looks pretty cool. Now, I can't judge the quality of this game until I play it, and I definitely will, but a lot of people are preemptively doing so. A lot of people like Kiss Move are saying Spider-Man is a PS4 exclusive. Therefore, that's the only reason it's getting hype. Without noticing, Spider-Man is a brand name. There's a reason why Kevin Feige is fighting so hard, even to the point of getting in bed with the monstrous hide of Amy Pascal. There's a reason for that. Spider-Man is very popular. A lot of people probably went to see like Captain America Civil War because Spider-Man was in there. Smooth brought up another point and he said, you know, the past Spider-Man games weren't that hype. They weren't getting this level of marketing, like trains in New York being painted with the Spider-Man motifs. Why didn't that happen for Spider-Man 2? Why, oh why, oh why? I guess we can address that and the big elephant in the room with the painted motif trains. Number one, who really fucking cares? It's a train in New York that looks cool, painted up red, blue, you know, it has like shit on the seats of the, not literal shit, I'm talking about like the spider logos and the Daily Bugle papers of Spider-Man being a menace. It has that. Who cares? It's marketing, advertising. You're going to see marketing and advertising anywhere, on any poster, on any trailer, with any merchandise, t-shirts, shit like that, because those people, they want you to buy their product and you might see it somewhere. That's just how marketing and advertising works. Number two is that, you know, Spider-Man 2 was a movie tie-in title, so the movie itself was enough to generate profit for the game. You ever see those fucking movie tie-in games where they say, now you watch the movie, here, play the game? That's it. That's all I see in some of those commercials. So maybe Activision didn't want to go balls to the wall. Maybe they said, you know, the movie is enough. We're gonna make money anyway. It's Spider-Man. You see what I'm saying? So why are people questioning how people market things? Every publisher markets things differently. That's what you need to understand first. So Sony, they might, you know, they might have wanted to do it big. They said, you know, we're gonna put this shit on trains, New York trains. People like Spider-Man, people like New York. Let's do it. From here, Smooth continues and he says, why didn't any of the lower rated Spider-Man games like, you know, Edge of Time, Friend or Foe, why didn't they sell well? Why wasn't Ultimate Spider-Man a huge colossal hit? I've played Ultimate Spider-Man, and I can honestly say with the flaws in that game, Spider-Man 2 felt a little bit more tighter. In my opinion, I love Ultimate Spider-Man. You could play with Venom and wreck house. I love that aspect they added to the game. However, the physics are not as great as I want them to be. Some of the side missions and races, they kind of become annoying. And, you know, they made that game in like a year. And that game just, you know, feels like a reskinned Spider-Man 2, if you're being completely 100% honest about that. The game's great, but it's not perfect. So maybe it didn't really sell as much as Spider-Man 2. Again, just because Spider-Man is on the box doesn't mean that you could get away with making a bad game. That's the real heat on Spider-Man PS4. Some side missions are looking pretty spooky. Those missions where you have to like vaccine birds and do shit like that, it's probably not going to be as fun, and it makes me question the mission structure. I can understand criticism, I can understand pessimism, but also you have to be optimistic about things as well. And I can say, like, I can safely say 90% of Spider-Man PS4 looks pretty amazing. But the other 10% has me doubting it until I play the game myself. And that's the real difference. I'm not going to cast this game off because it's not on Xbox. That's a stupid opinion, Smooth. That's a stupid opinion for anyone in general, because the developer had developer honesty and they told you guys it's not coming to the Xbox because Sony filled our wallets. They said this straight up. People who complain about this typically have like PS4s to the side anyway, which is weird, or they might buy like 2 or 3 Xbox One X's, and then these are the same motherfuckers that say, you know, I'm broke, I'm struggling right now, I can't really buy a PS4, I can't really buy a $60 game. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. I don't believe that for a second for some people. I really don't. And I said this before, people should have more than one platform anyway. Going back to the main point before I diverged, a lot of people are saying that Spider-Man PS4 has all this hype, marketing, etc. Why didn't the previous games have it? Like I said, number one, movie tie-in games are kind of irrelevant, obsolete. They don't happen anymore as much as they used to, so that is a round of positive clout gone. And this is not a movie tie-in game. They're making this game from the ground up as a Spider-Man title, completely original, so they do have ingenuity behind it. I talked about Ultimate Spider-Man, and some of the B-Nox titles are hit or miss. Definitely Amazing Spider-Man 2. So you can't slap Spider-Man on the box and always expect it to be good. You see what I'm saying? If Insomniac's Spider-Man is bad and we can't gauge it because the game is not out yet at the time of this recording, then it's going to fall in line with that same philosophy. It has to be a good game. Spider-Man 1 on PS1, a lot of people recognize it for the characterization of Spider-Man, for the characterization of the villains, for the atmosphere, and it really excelled there. Spider-Man 2 took open world to a whole new level with a Spider-Man title, a superhero title in general, and they really nailed it. And I think the basis of those two alone probably did influence Insomniac, and they definitely said, you know, we're looking at past games. So I don't think they ever really tried to shit on history. You see what I'm saying? To me, it seems like Insomniac is taking inspiration from previous games, and they're also putting their spin on it. How do we make this original? What do we do that other Spider-Man games haven't done, exploring, you know, a really vast relationship between what happens when the lives of Peter Parker and Spider-Man clash. Experimenting on, you know, throwing in a lot of classic characters that people recognize and making it feel entirely new in the situations we are thrusted into. And I think it feels really well. Even their own emphasis on gadgets, I mean, putting that in, upgrading items and abilities, all of that sounds like good stuff. That sounds like something I would want in a Spider-Man title, so I don't get all the negativity. I think people are just kind of being salty about it, but I can understand the constructive criticism behind the game, the stuff that might stand out just a little bit, but I don't get all the hate. I'm gonna read some comments here because some people gave me comments, so bear with me. But let me see, let me go down here. Okay, so people are still complaining. Hold on a second. People are still complaining about the QTEs that were prevalent in one of the E3 trailers, Gamescom. I totally forget. I apologize. But a lot of people said, you know, there's way too many QuickTime events. Okay, that's a fair point, right? But Insomniac also went back, and I was wrong on this in a video I made before. They went back and said, you know, there's not that many QuickTime events in the game. So they kind of fix your problem. So that means that people are complaining about something they went back into and fixed. They went back to the drawing board. They address your issue, and is going to be less QTEs in the game. At this point, I'm not sure what you people expect. Do you think it's going to be like Resident Evil 6 with the QTEs? No, they said they fixed it. So take their word for it at launch. So mostly in console war circles, you'll see the occasional, oh, Spider-Man PS4 is going to be a sales flop. You'll see the occasional sales prediction video from people who are just analyzing. They really don't know any estimates so far. And you have the occasional person saying, well, will Spider-Man on PS4 be a sales flop due to the fact that Spider-Man games really didn't sell well in the past, even though a lot of people, from what I've seen, they're clearly using VG charts to illustrate their point. For you, I say wait until the game comes out and then let's start talking about sales, because I hate when people make sales predictions based off of stupid shit like either Twitch view counts, either top selling items. Wait until there's like something solid, something solidified, like a fucking NPD, where they take all the information, not VG charts, because VG charts, they are kind of erroneous in their estimations of sales and stuff like that. NPD, the official sales and shit, wait till the software sales and then we'll see what's up, because they count that shit up. We get to know in advance every month, and that really shows if a game is going to do well, if it's a top seller or not. So I will wait for NPD. Next up, we have a comment from Nicholas Levi, and he says, you know, my only issue with Spider-Man PS4 is Miles being involved, because I just feel like he's too young and, well, isn't Spider-Man yet, so to speak. Just feels weird. I prefer to see Robbie Brown's Prowler in Spider-Man's inner circle. Number one, we don't know all the established characters that are going to be in the game, even when they showed off glimpses of the Wakandan Embassy, Avengers Tower, Sanctum Sanatorium. We don't know if all of those characters will play a major role in the Marvel universe, in this particular universe, or a side role. And even the developer said that, you know, you might see some people, but the focus is going to be mostly on Spider-Man. So Prowler might even be a side character, you never know. At the same time, Miles Morales might get bitten, and my theory is because Oscorp is basically incubating a clone of a spider, which I assume it has the same properties of the spider that bit Peter in many iterations. They either kill that spider or sometimes it gets away. Maybe it's the same one, but yeah, there's a spider at Oscorp and it could break out and it could bite Miles and he could get powers from there. That's my theory. I think that might happen in the game. Mary Jane sees it in one of the trailers and it seems right on the nose. You have Miles in the game and he doesn't have powers yet until that event. I think that's what's going to happen. Next up, let's read some more comments that my friend sent me, and then I'll close out. We have a guy who was complaining about Spider-Man PS4 story looking generic when he and everyone else don't know jack shit about the story. It's true. One good rule of thumb is that you should never take 100% full stock of a game's plot or story into account until you actually get the chance to sit there and digest what is exactly happening, because a developer could be pulling the rug underneath you in the full game. That trailer probably doesn't tell you the full story. A lot of people like to speculate. I know I am guilty of this. I love speculating about a video game story, but at the same time, you could be falling for a bullshot. You could be falling for something that's not even in the game. You could be falling for something, and this counts for like all media as well, that has like a story you're interested in. You could watch a movie like Avengers Infinity War. You could think like the Hulk is there. He's gonna be there. He's in the trailer, right? He's going to be fighting all that stuff. Nah, you're gonna be disappointed. Let's not say anything further on that, but I'm saying, like, never fall for trailer bullshots. Just wait until the game comes out. It's cool to speculate, but never gauge a quality of a plot just based on like a fucking 2-minute trailer. You're going to be obviously disappointed, and then when the game comes out, everyone's having fun, they're saying, you know, the plot is awesome, then you missed out. Give it a fair shake. If you don't like it, that's fine. If you love it, that's fine. That's how it should be. That's how it has been. That's always how it will be. Let's move on to the next comments. Let's see what other comments we have here. Oh, PS4 is trash. Don't nobody give a shit about no damn Spider-Man. Well, sir, there's a lot of fans who love Spider-Man, and I'm pretty sure one Spider-Man movie alone probably made more budget than you'll probably ever make in a lifetime. So your comment is exposed. Next up, we have that new Spider-Man PS4 trailer was trash. Okay, subjective. I think I'm gonna close out on this comment by this guy. I'm not even gonna pronounce his name because I'm gonna butcher it, but he says like 90% of Spider-Man PS4 is the same villain, and that's really my only complaint. You know, I mean, Spider-Man's Rose Gallery, you know, you don't want to pull something like a Batman Arkham Knight where they promise to give you new villains and shit like that, even though what happens is it's just villains that you already know that were established, like Jason Todd, Red Hood. They are masquerading as new villains and it turns out to be the same old fucking bait and switch. You don't want that. So I think them using older villains, more recognizable ones from Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery is a great thing. I am going to miss stuff like video game exclusive breeds of villains like Monster Ock from the PS1 Spider-Man game. That was cool. The symbiote got on Dr. Octopus and he scared the living bejesus out of me as a kid. Who knows, maybe Spider-Man PS4 will have surprises like this. Again, the game is unreleased, you never know, but Spider-Man is just as important as his villains, so I don't see this comment as a big deal. Obviously people care about, you know, Doc Ock, Sinister Six, the symbiotes. Even though the symbiotes are kind of getting debunked, I hope they are in the DLC at least. Alright, I think that's all I got for today. This is Renegade Operative signing off. You can find me on Twitter at RentOperative_. You can find me on YouTube here at Renegade Operative, and you can find me on Twitch at Renegade_Operative. I will be doing another video soon. I'm going to be doing some shit with my podcast crew, and I'm also going to be working on a Batman rant video as well. Be sure to check out my description below with my Kids Move companion piece. I thought that rant sort of kicked it off. That's why I said in the beginning I'm back at ground zero again, talking about people making up shit about Spider-Man PS4. I just don't get the hate. The game looks pretty good. It looks like it could be a great Spider-Man game. We haven't got a really good Spider-Man game in a long time, so my fingers are crossed for this game. No fanboyism, no PS4 versus Xbox crap, blah blah blah. I am just a legit fan of Spider-Man titles, and I want to see what happens if this game is really good. Here's hoping. Here is fucking hoping. My only complaint, the mission structure, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably agree with that, because I don't want to collect no damn birds. I don't want to do that. I want to do cool things that Spider-Man would do, like busting through a hideout and beating people up. Maybe that's a possibility. We'll see. Until then, I'm gonna wait until September 7th, and my voice is drying out so bad, so I'm gonna end it here. Talk to you guys later.